Hi, I'm Dr. Mark Rosenberg, and I'd like to thank everybody who's already purchased my book. It's available now on Kindle. I just want to make you aware of that if you don't have the devices to read it on iTunes. So you can get it as a Kindle book, as an iBook, or as a PDF. All right, it's available. The links are below each video. Today's topic is about pain and diagnosing it over the web. Basically, that's the most common question asked of me. I have this pain. I hurt myself playing a sport, doing work, something happened. This hurts. What do I do? Well, from my position on this side of the internet, as opposed to your side, behind your keyboard, it's impossible for me to know. I repeat that, and I sincerely would love to help everybody. I wish it was possible, but even in my own practice, when I'm working with somebody, I find out some old injury that they might have had 4 years ago, 2 months into treatment. It's like, wow, 2 years into treatment, we don't know. So there's a lot of variables in the history, your height, your weight, your age, your previous jobs, your sports injuries, your car accidents, how you sleep, activities of daily living, and how you do certain things. Like, for example, somebody who sits in front of the TV and the TV's off to the side, they're always getting stiff necks. So there's a lot of variables. So I can shoot out advice over the web, but I don't know, and I would hate for it to be bad for you. So you have to do a little bit of self-diagnosis. The number one thing is, if you have a deep, boring pain or something really hurts bad, don't mess around. Go to a doctor. There's some things you just don't play with. Most of the stuff people come to the web for and look for answers to questions, they have this chronic niggling thing. They're tight when they run. They have this pain in their hamstring. Their knee aches. Nothing that would require surgery. Nothing that would really need any invasive treatment by anybody. But they have a pain and they need to know what to do about it. So that being the case, and this is a big section of my book, the self-assessment. But what I want to tell you today is there are different qualities to pain. A sharp pain that you get suddenly when running could indicate a tear. Stop immediately. Don't continue to run. Don't run through the pain. If you have like a deep ache in the muscle, it could be a buildup of lactic acid and other toxins in the muscle. You take a run, you move your body, you break a sweat, it goes away. So the pain might be in the same area, the quality of the pain might be different, and the treatment will be different. So these are the things you need to determine for yourself. I can't do that for you unless I see you, unless I examine you. In fact, I don't know if a doctor, if you find a doctor that could diagnose you over the web, I'd like to meet him. That's A. Also, honor your pain. And what does that mean? If it hurts, sometimes don't push through it. I have people who hurt themselves, and they go, this shoulder hurts, and they hit their shoulder. It's like, my goodness, your pain, whether you strained a rotator cuff, whether you pulled a muscle, or whether you pinched a nerve in your neck that goes down your arm, the nerves are firing off pain signals to your brain, okay? You start hitting it to make it better. You know what's going to happen? You're sending off more pain signals. So you're reinforcing the pain pattern. That's not going to help you, okay? That's like breaking your tooth and finding a bunch of stuff to stick in there to chew on it. Okay, we're almost a little bit more intelligent with things like toothaches than we are with other aches and pains. Some things are good if you put heat. A chronic injury, you might put heat on it. It might warm things up. You might have an adhesion. If I glue my shirt to my skin, I can't raise my arm. I can't raise it. There's an adhesion between those muscles, usually between, let's say, for example, in a frozen shoulder, between the deltoid and the bicep. The bicep has two heads. There's a little adhesion there. I have a video on massaging and how to work this out in your shoulder, but let's just talk about this. You can't lift it. You can't lift it. That adhesion might need to be torn up by massage and then warmed, okay, with heat, either in a hot tub or in a hot shower or with a heat pack to warm it, to get more blood flowing there. But let's say you had an acute injury to the shoulder, you got hit in the shoulder, you might be better off with ice. You know, ice in acute injuries brings down swelling. These are things that you have to think about before you do anything. So the first step in assessment of your injury is stop what you're doing and check in with yourself. I witnessed a bicycle crash a few years ago when I was out for a ride, and the guy fell hard, and he tweaked his neck. And the first thing he wanted to do was get up and stand up. And I got off my bike. I said, he didn't know me. I wasn't with him. I said, stay there. Just stay there. Don't move. Okay? Just relax. Somebody called 911. We got them there. He was okay. But the way he fell, the way he hit his head and went back, he could have broke his neck. And machismo, if you will, to get up. Oh, I'm okay. It's just a flesh wound, and to get up and push up like that, he could have really hurt himself. Take time. I mean, obviously, he wants to roll out of the way if cars are coming in that particular case, but there weren't. There were other cyclists there. Just sit there. I have crashed on my bicycle and my motorcycle, and I sat. I got out of harm's way, and I just sat, checked in with myself, see what was going on. When I broke my arm, it was interesting because I felt great. I mean, I crashed, I rolled a few times. A woman pulled out in front of me and stopped. I went up to the side, a couple of people helping me. I was sitting there, and I was ready to, if we could put the bike back up on its wheels, I was ready to keep riding. And I looked at my arm, and it was facing the wrong way. And I had no pain. Okay, so it wasn't, it was very interesting. At that point, I guess there was so much adrenaline flowing and so much other attention on the outwardness. And there was a nice man there. He happened to be a paramedic. He said, sit down, we're going to call somebody. Thank goodness he did. So that's an extreme thing where you're actually tricked into thinking that you're okay, but actually things are not. And I had to have surgery to have that fixed because there's a plate and 13 screws in there. So it was a pretty bad break. It was shattered. And actually coming out of that particular injury, I had to deal with adhesions between the muscles. I had to deal with muscle weakness. And trust me, I didn't hit it. I didn't force it to do things. I worked with my body and my body's innate intelligence. But most importantly, you have to use what's up here, this intelligence. There's two types of the innate intelligence of your body, what they called in chiropractic school. In Chinese medicine, they call it qi, is the intelligence that runs your body. It tells your heart to beat. It tells you to breathe. You don't have to think about that. If you had to think about that stuff, you wouldn't get anything done during the day. That being the case, you have to use the thinking mind, which is actually slower than the internal intelligence of the body to assess things. Maybe I shouldn't step off that cliff. Maybe I shouldn't pick up my broken arm and try and use it. Maybe I should, more subtle, my face is, maybe I shouldn't poke around on my face. All right, I'm making fun of some of this stuff, but it's really true. We expect excellence. Everybody expects excellence from their body, but the truth is, its tissues break down over time. We age. We're exposed to all kinds of environmental situations that could tweak us in one way or another, and we have to be aware. And sometimes I write about this in the book. I keep a log of everything I do physically, exercise-wise, and when I get injured. So this way, at least I could rule out: am I doing something, working out, exercise-wise, that's injuring me? I keep a log, and I have some of my stuff back 10, 20 years. So the stuff 20 years ago is written on paper. It's just a simple line during the course of a day. What I did an hour of Tai Chi. I did an hour of yoga. I did 2 hours of bike riding, something like that. I also write if I get any type of health treatment that day. If I got adjusted by my chiropractor, my best friend, if I got a massage, if I got acupuncture, I put that down, and then I can see the results. And if I see patterns in my own abilities to shrug off injuries. I do the same thing with work. Being a chiropractor is a very physical job, so I have to check in to see where I'm potentially building in a muscle strengthening that's too much on one side that's going to pull me out and tear something. And every job has that. I don't care if you're a dentist, if you sit at a desk at a computer, if you're on your feet all day. There's always something that could trigger off an imbalance. And that's what I hope people will look for, because that's the preventative side. If you could do that, then you'll have less to diagnose yourself. But again, getting back to the topic on hand, try and figure out what your pains are. Sharp, dull, diffuse, chronic. Step back a little bit, do a little reading, do a little light work on it, and then go from there. Don't try and power through stuff. Don't try and ignore things, okay? And that's it for today's video. And all the links for the books, the PDF, the iBook, and the Kindle is below the video. And if you have any questions, of course, shoot them at me.